Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Onslow County where a man is behind bars facing human trafficking charges. 20-year-old Caleb Maschke was arrested in Onslow County yesterday. He was charged with human trafficking a child victim and promoting prostitution of a minor in Jones County. According to warrants, he held a 16-year-old in involuntary or sexual servitude. The warrants list that the offense happened on February 1st. He was taken to jail without bond and is expected to appear in court in Jones County tomorrow. And now we also want to turn our attention to the breaking news story that happened yesterday in Cuba, where an American boat approached Cuba and Cuban patrol officers opened fire. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has more.
Overnight, new accusations from the Cuban government after a deadly gunfight in Caribbean waters left 4 people dead, sparking fears of a new escalation between the U.S. and Cuba. Secretary of State Marco Rubio skeptical of Cuba's version of events.
It is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that. But we're going to find out. We're not going to base our conclusions on what they've told us.
The Cuban Interior Ministry says 4 people were killed and 6 injured after Cuba's Border Patrol intercepted a speedboat that was registered in Florida. In a new statement overnight, the Cuban government says the boat's passengers were Cuban residents of the United States and accuses the passengers of intending to carry out an infiltration for terrorist purposes. Adding assault rifles, Molotov cocktails, and other weapons were seized.
We obviously want to have access to these people if they are American citizens or U.S. residents. But I'm not going to speculate now because right now still a lot of the information that's out there is information that's been provided by the Cubans.
The shootout happened off the island's northwest coast Wednesday morning. According to Cuban officials, their border patrol approached the boat and attempted to ask the passengers for ID, but they opened fire and Cuban officers shot back.
Con matrícula de la Florida.
Cuban television says one of the country's border patrol commanders was injured and that Cuba will protect its territorial waters.
That region of the world was just like a powder cake, right? Could blow up at any time.
Tensions with the communist country just 90 miles off the Florida coast already high as President Trump has ramped up pressure in recent weeks.
Cuba is right now a failed nation.
Fuel shortages have devastated Cuba's economy, with the U.S. blocking virtually all oil shipments to the island following the American capture of Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro.
And again, that was Gabe Gutierrez reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. Rain showers rolling across the state right now have us again damp and wet, but it comes at a good time because we are in need of the drops. Going to have your drought monitor for you coming up here in just a few moments. But first, want to give you a look at what is actually happening across the Carolinas and even extending northward through Virginia, over the Chesapeake Bay area, extending even kind of all the way towards Philadelphia. We've got some moisture coming down. Now the heaviest stuff right now sitting further back towards the west in our state. Here you can kind of see those rain showers getting stronger and heavier between Charlotte and Greensboro. Now that whole band of rain is going to continue to progress pretty much straight easterly, and that's going to bring us again some heavier drops later on this afternoon and evening. We've seen plenty of rain so far today. The only spot that has been fairly dry so far today, down east Carteret County. Some of our southern communities, again, kind of got left out of the morning showers, but not to worry. There you can see that Carteret County is on the verge of turning what are just normal gray skies into rain clouds here as we head through the next hour. Now, in terms of drought, just about all of eastern North Carolina is in need of rain. Regardless of where you are at, you are either under a moderate, severe, or extreme drought. No longer do we have any of the areas that are considered abnormally dry. Everyone needs the rain right now. So again, seeing these showers come through, it is 100% a good thing and it is needed. Right now, air temperatures in the upper 50s come with a southwesterly wind at about 11 miles an hour. Dew points high today, and that is good news. That will help the rain get squeezed out of the clouds and actually make it down to ground level. Yesterday morning, we were looking at some virga on the radar, and that is rain that falls from the sky but evaporates before it hits the ground. Not the case today. Raindrops are very much hitting the ground. You can tell we've got wet roads out there, and again, even some drops on the camera lens. As far as your air temperatures go, more of us are starting to break into the low 60s. 61 degrees right now in Jacksonville, Kenansville, Kinston, Washington, and Oriental. 64 being reported in New Bern along with Stumpy Point. We've got 59 degrees in Greenville and Swan Quarter, 58 in Goldsboro. Looking at more of the mid-50s as you get north of 64. Right now, 56 degrees in Williamston, 55 in Edenton, 54 in Manteo, 55 in Elizabeth City. Those are your air temperatures, but winds out of the southwest continue to bring our air temperatures up. Right now, once you get south of 264, you're looking at wind speeds between around generally 10 to 20 miles an hour. We've got 12-mile-per-hour wind in Goldsboro and Greenville, 13 in Washington, 17 in Kinston, Jacksonville, and Beaufort, with 14-mile-per-hour sustained winds in New Bern and Hatteras. When you get north of 264, you're looking at more single-digit wind speeds right now. Regardless, direction is consistent and the same, and it will remain consistent as we head through the rest of this afternoon. Temperatures will fall once we get to around, I would say around 4, 5, and 6 p.m., getting down into the mid-50s between 7, 8, and 9 p.m., low 50s as we approach midnight, but cloud cover will remain. Rain showers along the coast will be present as we wake up early tomorrow morning because this whole frontal system, it's not going to completely exit. We'll lose one low pressure system only to be followed up by another, which keeps that general boundary of cold air versus warm air stretched over eastern North Carolina and stretched over South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama as well. So we're not the only ones that are going to be seeing, again, more perpetual rain as we head through today and tomorrow, but it is coming with an exit, and that exit comes this weekend. May wake up to maybe a few coastal showers on Saturday. Right now, this model run is pushing a lot of those drops out into the Atlantic by the time many of us wake up. Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, we'll start to see some clearing. And that clearing will carry us into what will be a very sunny and beautiful Sunday with air temperatures in the low 70s. I feel pretty nice compared to the mid-50s we're going to be sitting through coming up for tomorrow. We aren't going to stick around in the 70s for too long. 71 degrees on Sunday turns to 48 on Monday. Now through next week, we will warm back up, going from 48 degrees to start the week to 60 degrees by the time we reach the middle of the week on Wednesday. And then we're back into the low 70s under mostly sunny skies for Thursday as well as Friday. Another important thing to note, while we do have rain chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the more important factor is the lack of 32 or below 32 degree overnight lows over the next 8 days. We continue to get closer and closer to growing season. I don't think we're there yet. I have a feeling there's probably going to be a few gardeners out there on Sunday willing to roll the dice with some bulbs and see if they can get lucky and we can avoid a freeze from here to the beginning of spring. May end up doing that myself. You know what? It's Sunday, 71 degrees and sunny. It's going to be hard to keep me out of the garden. But that's all we have time for today's 1 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.